ready?
I'm recording. I'm ready.
You're recording. Okay, I see it. I see it. Okay. Hello.
So
Buenos
let me
dias.
introduce you.
Okay.
Okay, we are here with Maria Kazantseva. She is co-owner and co-founder of Zavalinka Records. It's a label of reel-to-reel tapes, master tapes, with great titles. And I think she is the loveliest face in the audio business. She's always busy making interviews, running back and forth to her booth and interviewing many interesting people in the business. We met last year at Munich, and it's sad that we couldn't meet this year again because of the COVID. So we are here. Would you like to introduce yourself or tell us?
Well, you have told pretty much everything. Yeah, my name is Maria. I represent a record label that is called Zavalinka Records. We're based in Moscow, in Russia. So we're from Russia. I live in Italy, and I travel often. And well, I represent our brand anywhere in the world. And we also go to many high-end and hi-fi shows where we sell our tapes. What is important that we make analog recordings only. So we only have tapes for now, but we're planning to make the LPs as well, analog as well, in the nearest future. And that's it. We have 24 titles in our catalog right now, and we're actually expecting something very interesting in the nearest future. But I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it's going to be really, really very interesting, something that has never happened before. And that's it. So more or less, that's it. Our brand and to our brand.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I would like to ask you some questions. This is an interview to get to know better the people and
the personality
behind the brand, the personality, because every review and all the technical stuff is on the web. So I think you are very busy in Instagram and Facebook and have a lot of followers who would like to know, I guess, something more about you and of course your brand. So I would like to ask you, what was your first experience with the high-end, and if any way it changed your way to listen to music?
Well, my first experience, I think it was several years ago in Moscow, because my dad was doing that and he was into it and he started that business. So I started being interested in that as well. I started to be involved. I was just helping my family, to be honest, at the beginning, just like talking with partners, and because I speak different languages. But then I started to get very much involved because I really liked it. And what really changed my sort of mentality maybe in terms of high-end was visiting Munich 3 years ago. I went there just to check it out on my own, and I met a lot of people there, and I made a video that went viral on Facebook. And I had like 50 friends on at the time on my Facebook page, because I didn't really use social media. I didn't really like it. And then I visited, I made several movies, and I loved it. And it was so interesting because I was entering different rooms and listening to different music, and I was really fascinated. It happened before as well. I visited several shows in Moscow, and I really enjoyed the concept of the show. Just checking out different rooms and different high-end systems. And Munich really, I would say, changed my life 3 years ago, yeah. And that's how it started. And then we started going there with my family, and then we had our booth, and it got really serious.
Yeah,
pretty spontaneous experience.
Munich, it's an experience. It's I think for me it's the best show in the world.
Yeah, it is the best show in the world. I agree.
You can see everything in there, mostly high-end. So I wanted to ask you also, why are reel-to-reel machines and recorded tapes this revival is getting so much attention at audio show? Is it a trend, or is it here to stay, since it's a very expensive format?
Well, it is an expensive format. Obviously, there is it is true, but it's not as expensive as well. It is maybe I don't know how to compare it. Well, if we compare it to fashion, for example, fashion industry is much more expensive, right?
Yeah.
We can't say it's just everything is relative. It just depends on your hobbies. And I would say that I'm sure that it will be there to stay, because in terms of the quality, I think it's just the best. You can't compare it to anything. And it hasn't been, nothing better has been yet created. So it's the best in terms of the quality sound, and I think it is here to stay, and I really hope so. And I think that people are coming to, more and more people are getting interested in that. And what is very nice, a lot of young people as well. So a lot of people of my age, in their 20s, in their 30s, I know those people personally, and that is wonderful. And I think it's going to attract a lot more.
Once you listen to it, you can't go away from that format if you can afford it, and you can have a machine, because that's another issue, getting a good machine that is working properly. But I think I find many people who's rebuilding and selling very nice machines, and there are some brands that are doing new machines like Costas and
exactly.
a German brand.
You have the chance to have it, right? You have one already.
Yeah, we have one. That's on the other room. This time I'm in this room for now with some of your tapes, and
yeah, I remember
have some some of your.
Oh, that's wonderful, Albert. Thank you for showing it. Yeah, do you like it?
I like it very much. That's the one on the machine. I have this one.
Ah, right. It's from our heritage. Yes, from Heritage Collection. Thank you for showing
it. Also, this one.
Ah, this one is Ivan Sokolov. He's behind me actually here. Right.
The sound of that one is wonderful, and that's a very good recording. She sings in
Waltz
German.
For Debbie. No, yeah. This one is from Italy. Yeah, that's from our partner.
Oh, that is also the first one I got.
The first one you got, right? Yes, the balalaika, electric balalaika. I think it's something.
I love Astor Piazzolla, and this is a wonderful.
That's the first one. Thank you. Yeah, that's the very first one.
Also, I think this is one of your first also recordings.
Right. This is the guitarist is amazing. He's from the Czech Republic. He's very famous actually. You can find him on YouTube as well. His music. Yeah. He's from Prague.
We were talking about. You mentioned luxury items are very expensive. Listen to music in the 16th century was a luxury, because only kings and lords were able to have musicians at their palaces and villas. And according to this, do you consider high-end audio as a luxury, or if yes, how we can transmit to potential customers and music lovers that high-end is more an experience than owning a luxury item that we can see now that with this pandemic, you can't go out with your watch or your car or whatever expensive stuff you have. I think people have been living more inside the homes and appreciating more the people who loves music. I think they are appreciating more listening to music at their homes.
Exactly. Yeah, of course. Yes, when you have a great system at home, it is wonderful. And I think actually, first of all, it is a very nice hobby, because you don't have to, even if you don't have a lot of money, you can afford some reel-to-reel machine, even if it's a simple one, right? You can do that. And you can start with something pretty modest by just collecting stuff. You don't have to buy the new made high-end system, which is extremely expensive. Of course it is expensive. It's just, I'm not going to deny it, but I'm sure, and I know a lot of people, and I actually like those people who approach it in a sort of smart way, right? So they just don't buy something very expensive and trendy, but they visit a lot of shows, they build it by themselves, and they find it somewhere. They find you can find some vintage stuff that sounds pretty cool as well. And the main reason, if you really love music, I'm sure you will find a way how to do that. right? So
Yes.
you will, and it's a nice hobby to spend your money on, I'm sure. It's just, what I don't really like about high-end is just people are into like devices, new gadgets. And that's not what I like about high-end. But if you're smart and if you know how to, if you love music, you will find the way to listen to it. And so I don't really like the word luxury, to be honest, and I don't, it's because it makes it not affordable for many people. You can also go to different high-end shows, and you can just enjoy it and compare it, and it's always sort of a quest. It's a long process, and you will find something nice for yourself, I'm sure. It is possible. It is expensive, but cars are expensive too. But people find a way to buy them as well.
Yeah. So you have also a page in Facebook that it's called Analog
Sound.
Sound. That there is people who can recommend some machines also for the viewers of your Facebook
exactly
page.
Yeah, it is a community. What is nice about any hobby, and this one in particular, that is that it connects people from all over the world. They love music, they love the sound, and they can share their experience with you, right? So you can find always a way how to spend less money and get the best of it.
The best of it,
yeah. And actually the community is always growing, so there are always more and more people coming, and it's wonderful, and it helps a lot.
Okay.
It's a great support.
So, I would like to ask you now, what did you learn from your biggest mistake?
From my biggest mistake?
Yeah.
Well, it's always an experience you get from the mistake, right? So just you make a mistake and you learn from it. You just try not to make it again, I would say. And it's experience. That's the best thing. You learn not to make it again. And I think that failure is very important. And you know, I've heard it somewhere that you should fail forward all the time. It means that when you fail, you go forward because it moves you, right?
Yeah.
And you understand that you don't have to do that again. Something was wrong, you're not going to do that again, and it's going to help you eventually. So failing forward is good. Okay. But you should be smart. Like, you should recognize it and use it in the future.
Is there something you dislike about your job?
Oh, well, I don't know. Not really. I don't think so. I'm maybe the prices sometimes.
The what?
It is expensive, the prices.
Oh.
Yeah, when you just it's expensive. It's an expensive you have to spend a lot of money, obviously, on all those things, and on business, obviously. All the shows are expensive, traveling, and you get tired of that. But I can't. I'm not negative in general. I try to be positive, so I concentrate on things that I like. I try to.
We can see that when we see your interviews and running around, you're always with a smile on your face.
Yeah, I try to. I enjoy it. I really do. Otherwise, why? It just doesn't make sense for me. If you don't like it, you just better live it, I think.
Okay. And do you have a role model who inspired you in this business? I guess it's going to be your father.
Well, I would say that, yeah, I think my dad involved me a lot. It affected me a lot. So I didn't really, at the beginning, I didn't consider it something serious. And then when I started going to those shows, it was very interesting. And I met a lot of interesting people. And yeah, it's a kind of hobby that makes you explore a lot of new stuff in life, and it's always and it's music again. You find many different types and many different musicians, artists, and you experience it through analog, and it's amazing. But I would say that my dad is my role model in that sense.
Oh, he's a very nice guy. I met him last year. Yeah.
Yeah, he remembers you
too. Also. Yeah.
He's saying hi to you.
Say hello. I would like to ask you, what's your favorite soundtrack movie?
Oh, well, I don't have any favorite soundtracks. I don't remember now because I if I have any favorite, like I don't have any favorite book. I don't have any favorite soundtrack, to be honest. It's just, and I haven't been watching movies for a long time, to be honest. I don't know. I don't have one thing that I really like. There's so many things. A favorite soundtrack. I don't know, to be honest. Do you have one?
For a song?
Can you name it?
I can name
a song.
The soundtrack from Mediterraneo. It's a movie, an Italian movie from the 90s.
Okay.
That won an Oscar for foreign movie. I think that's one of my favorites.
Okay.
It's a very nice movie. You should see it.
I've never watched it. I haven't watched movies for a long time, to be honest. And a favorite soundtrack is a tough question, to be honest. But I really listen to a lot of music. And
or any favorite group or artist?
Any favorite band?
One of your top.
Okay, that is interesting. Well, I really like lately. I like jazz music a lot. I like classical music, and well, it's just difficult to name it. Well, I've been lately listening to Arabic jazz, which I really like Argentinian rock. I like Charlie Garcia.
Oh, really?
I like Soda Stereo. Soda Stereo. Yeah, and I really love it, and I think it's a pity that nobody knows about it. Like nobody, a lot of people in the rest of the world have no idea about that. I don't know if you agree. I mean, Latin America, they know about those bands, but
of course,
English-speaking countries, they have no idea. And I love British rock as well, and I'm more into rock. And lately, I've been listening to jazz music, right?
Okay.
And I'm very much into Italian pop music now. But you probably don't know that because it's not very popular. Again, I like to explore the traditional music or some typical musicians from different countries, and I find it's a big pity that a lot of people have no idea about them, and they're great, right? So, for example, Adriano Celentano, nobody knows about him in England. I mean, he's an idol. Have you heard of him? And he's amazing. You should. Nobody knows about him, and he's I would say he's better than Elvis, in my opinion. And nobody knows. A lot of people know him in Russia. A lot of people everyone knows him in Italy, but not. And again, in France, there are many other musicians that are very popular. And I'm very vintage. I'm very into.
In Italy, I love Ornella Vanoni and Enrico Modugno.
Oh right, yeah, I like her too. Mina is amazing. Yes, she's amazing. Yeah, there are many others. Loredana Bertè. There's a lot of interesting Italian rock music, like Rino Gaetano and Ivano Fossati. There are many. Well, you have a lot of your musicians, I'm sure, in where you live in Mexico.
Yeah,
right?
We have a lot. We listen a lot to Argentinian rock, Soda Stereo.
Rock, yes, I know that. Yeah, obviously. Because you share the same language. I love Brazil. I love Brazilian music. I love Raul Seixas. I love Caetano Veloso. I'm very much into that stuff. You know Caetano? You've heard of him?
Of course, yes.
Yeah.
No, I was raised with the bossa nova music in my.
Oh well, I'm in love with that.
Child. Elis Regina, I love Elis Regina.
Yeah, and
Tom Jobim is the father of.
Yeah, Jobim. Yeah, it's just I know. I love it. I would love to go to Brazil and stay there for a long time just because of music. I love the Brazilian Portuguese, and it's just they have something absolutely incredible there. I mean, in terms of music, especially.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, if you could have a dinner with a music legend of any era, who would it be?
Well, I would say I wouldn't like dinner. Maybe not. Dinner is not the best idea. Maybe drinking. That would be more interesting. I would share several drinks with many musicians. Well, but what I think is I've always been like that. I think that I try not to associate the personality with the talent, with the music they make, or like in terms of anything like literature, movies, because sometimes you can admire their talent, but in terms of the
personality, not
people, you just sometimes better not to know them at all. news because you can get very disappointed. There is always a dark side, obviously, but there are people that are just you love their genius, but when you meet them in person, you can be very disappointed, you know. And I try to be careful with that. I don't know if I could. Maybe I would. I don't know. Really tough to answer that. I don't know. Maybe with someone with some rock band. I don't know. Maybe the Beatles, Paul McCartney.
Okay.
I actually have some ideas to share with him. Right? Why not?
Thank you. And if you could be a musical instrument, what would you be?
I don't know. Saxophone, maybe.
Saxophone, because of jazz.
Because of and maybe it's because it's you can bring it anywhere, and you can travel with it. Yeah, so it's not just like a grand piano that is difficult to move. Or maybe the guitar. Why not?
Do you play? Do you have some musical skill?
Yeah, I've been played the piano for like 10 years or even more. I started when I was 6 and I gave it up when I was like 16 or so, 17. So yeah, 10 years, and I did that almost professionally.
We are having a delay with the internet. Hope it goes back soon.
Hello, I'm here. You hear me now?
I hear you, but I can't. It's your video is
frozen.
Free.
Okay. Wait a second. I'll be back. Is it working?
Go in and go back, maybe.
I can see you, and you're also frozen. By the way, you freeze.
I'm freeze. I think your internet
yes.
Is
Окей. Что-то с интернетом. Это у нас или где?
Я все прекрасно работаю.
Какой-то ужас. Что мы будем делать? Чуть не то сказала?
С того, что я понял, что
Hello.
okay. I see your name, but I don't see your face.
Should work. Wait a second. Here it is. You see me now?
Not yet. And the voice is like
okay, I will change the connection and I'll call you back, okay?
Okay, sure. Don't worry. Okay, I see you, but
Okay.
okay,
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, I see. I'm sorry for that. Is it fine?
Yes,
Okay.
that's
Happens
fine.
sometimes. We're
Yes.
connected.
Okay, so we were talking about you play piano.
Right. Yeah. For 10 years, I've been playing the piano. I started when I was six, and I gave it up when I was 16. I tried to play the guitar as well, but not successfully. I'm not patient enough to play any music, any instrument. What about you?
Okay.
Have you tried?
I can knock the door and sing in the shower only.
Okay.
That's my musical skills.
Okay.
So would you like to tell us something that is about the new tapes that you have now and what's coming, the other labels that you carry also?
Right. Yeah, of course. I will share it with you. So the latest releases we had were that the collaboration with a German label from Berlin. They're called Low Swing Records, and Low Swing Studio as well. And we made 2 tapes with them. They're called Rima. I don't have them with me, unfortunately, but
I can put the link later on.
yeah. Well, it's fine. I'll just tell you that. Yeah, it's 2 tapes with the same singer from the United Kingdom. She's a songwriter and she sings also, and she's got an amazing voice. It's very beautiful tapes, and we're planning for more releases very soon. I'm not going to tell you which ones, but they're going to be very cool. You probably have seen something on Facebook, I guess. But it's going to be very, very interesting, and some jazz and some, like, I don't know what kind of rock music I would say, or indie rock, that kind of stuff from Norway. And another one is that our latest release also is our release. It's called Two Siberians. Absolutely amazing. I loved it. I love it very much because
it's most Russian rock, right?
Yeah, it's well, it's not really rock. It's complicated. It's just a mix of genres. And those guys, they used to live in the U.S. They used to play in the U.S. They were pretty popular there, and they came back several years ago to Moscow, and we made a recording. And it's not the only. There will be more, and it's also very interesting and to listen to that on a good setup. So it's so dynamic, and it's just the wall of music. It's amazing. I don't know if I can say that. It's very beautiful and very powerful also.
Thank you.
Yeah. And there is something else but it's a secret. But it's very interesting.
I hope you let me know.
Yeah, of course I will.
Post it on Facebook.
Yeah, okay, I will do.
And okay, I guess we are getting to the end.
Okay.
How would you like to close this interview? And if you would like to ask me a question?
Well, I thank you so much for giving me such an opportunity, because I don't get interviewed very often by anybody. I usually do that myself, and it was very interesting, and thank you for your questions. I would love to ask you about, like, how you're doing, how you've coped with COVID. I mean, in terms of your business, and like, how is it going for you now? And
thankfully, business is going okay, even though the pandemic, because I have found some people who want to upgrade their systems since they have been listening to it. And next to you, I'm interviewing Ruana from Griffon. We are getting a pair of photos for clients, huge speakers. And even though our stores are closed, because this pandemic in Mexico has never gone down. We are, they say we are getting the peak next week, and it doesn't go down. So
I see.
I don't know when it's going to end this here. Hopefully before the year ends.
Okay.
And but business is well. I can't complain. Yeah. And I would like to thank you for the time, I would like to share in the screen a picture of you when you gave your
Thank you.
master session with Nagra and YG. That was very interesting.
Thank you for visiting. Thank you for being there. It was great.
Hope to see you soon and keep in touch via this.
Yeah, I really hope to meet up with you very soon, and probably there will be some shows and that we both are going to visit, and there is always Munich anyway, right? So Munich next year is going to take place. So thank you so much, and have a lovely day. It's still early for you, right? It's not.
It's 1 p.m. here.
Oh, right. You have the whole day ahead. Okay, enjoy it, and say hi to your family. Thank you so much for that interview.
Say hello to your father and your mother and your sister, and thank you for your time, and hope to see you soon. And I will place an order soon.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. Muchas gracias.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Ciao, ciao.